These healthy carrot oat muffins is what I'm going to be sharing with you guys today. This is a great little one for breakfast. I am not adding any sugar to the actual recipe. Here you can see on this one there's an almond on top. Some sliced almonds would be so good on top of this, but I didn't have any, so I just used what I had, as well as a little bit of coconut sugar on those. But in the actual recipe there is no sugar added, so they are a really great breakfast treat to make. Before I get started, I want to thank again Ultima Cosa for sending us this coffee machine, espresso machine. Guys, I can't use my Keurig the same anymore because this thing is legit. I mean, legit coffee. If you go back to your Keurig, which I did, I tried my Keurig and I was like, ugh, I can't. It's just, no. I wanted a good cup of coffee, and that you can definitely have a good cup of coffee. I'll leave that link down below for you. In this bowl here, I am adding in 1 cup of oats, and to that I'm adding in 1 cup of milk. And what I'm going to do is, you can use any type of milk that you will typically use. We're just going to soak our oats for about 15 minutes or so. So I'm just going to let them sit to the side while I get grating my carrots. I just pulled out my smallest grater here because I did not want to wash my big box grater, but you want to use the finest side of your grater so you get the finest grate of carrot, if that makes any sense. This took a little bit of an arm workout for me here because I just refused to pull out my box grater because it's just not the easiest thing to wash. So in a bowl here, I'm going to add in 1 stick of softened butter, and to that I'm going to add in 2 large bananas. These are nice ripe bananas. They weren't the ripest. The riper the banana, the sweeter these muffins are going to be, because this will be your source of sugar in this muffin. So these weren't totally sweet. Could have used a little bit more riper, but they were on the counter and I wanted to use them up. They were just a little bit too ripe for eating, not ripe enough for baking. But either way, I'm going to use my whisk and we're going to mash this up just as I would mix together my butter and my sugar in a muffin or a cake recipe. I'm going to mix together my butter and my banana. And I'm just going to stir that in just for about 30 seconds to a minute or so. It's going to help break down that banana and get that butter nice and creamy. After I've mixed that in, I'm going to add in my eggs, 2 large eggs. You want to have your oven preheated to 350 degrees, so you can just pop these in as soon as you're done. It's so easy to put together, and it's a perfect little treat. You can freeze these really well for postpartum as well, and they're a great little muffin to have for breakfast. If you are a nursing mama, the oats in there as well will be good for you to help with nursing. I am stirring those eggs in, and this is coming together beautifully into a thick, fluffy batter. I'm going to add in my vanilla. I like a lot of vanilla, so I'm going in with my big jug of vanilla here, and I'm adding in 2 tablespoons of vanilla extract, as well as, this is really necessary for me, is some orange extract. It adds such great flavor. If you don't have orange extract, you can just add a little bit of orange zest, but 1 capful of that orange extract makes this so good. I will have my links down below for the vanilla and the orange extract because it's kind of easier to find it online, but it's such a good addition to a lot of recipes. I'm adding in my soaked oats. Soaking them helps plump them up a little bit, and my milk. Gonna mix that together. And I'm going to add in my shredded or grated carrots. This is 1 cup of my shredded carrots. Roughly 1 cup. It's not a packed cup, but I didn't want to go ahead and grate another carrot, so I just used my 1 large carrot, and it was good enough. Mix that in, and then we're going to add in our dry ingredients. I'm going to use my sieve to sift in my dry ingredients, which will be my flour, my baking powder, and my spices. I'm going to be adding cinnamon and nutmeg to this to give it such beautiful flavor. I'm going to add in 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, and I'll have all the amounts listed below for you in the description box. And 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, as well as cinnamon and nutmeg. You can add a little bit of cloves to this. You can add a little bit of allspice to this. All those lovely flavors blend together beautifully. And I'm measuring this with my heart right now, but about half a teaspoon of cinnamon and about a quarter teaspoon of nutmeg. I don't usually measure my spices, but yes. Don't want too much nutmeg because it can be overpowering. And I'm just going to go ahead and sift this in. I'm going to get my spatula here and mix this together. You don't want to use a whisk for this, just use your spatula. And these are so good with a cup of coffee, which is why I'm sharing with you Ultima Cosa's espresso machine. I love coffee. If you've seen most of my videos, you know that I love coffee. I am a coffee drinker and I just love a cup of coffee. But I typically would use my Keurig and I would typically just, use my regular coffee machine. But I'm telling you, it's hard to go back to a cup of coffee from my Keurig. It is. When you have freshly ground coffee like that, man, it is so good. I'm using my cookie scoop here to put about 2 cookie scoops or 1 large ice cream scoop into my muffin tray. These are going to give you about 15 muffins or so, so I'm just doing 12 here, and I'll do some more in my other tray. I did 12. Okay, I got 18 muffins, I think. I just had to do the math there. Couldn't remember. But yes, I got about 18 muffins in this. So some of them I'm going to actually sprinkle some coconut sugar on top and place an almond on there as well. As you can see here, these are going to bake for about 25 minutes or so. And they're delicious. They're not sweet at all. You can add some sugar to this if you want, quarter to half a cup of brown sugar to the actual recipe, but the banana adds a slight sweetness, and they're just a healthier little breakfast snack to have. Super easy to make, just one bowl, throw everything in there together, and they're so good, and they're so good with a cup of coffee. Again, thank you, Ultima Cosa, for sending us this espresso machine. I will have their link down below, guys, because it's so good. It's just something about it. I shared in my last video that I like to add a little bit of caramel to the bottom of my cup or mug or whatever before putting the coffee in. I add a little Tirani syrup in there. You steam your milk to perfection, and the steaming of the milk just adds sweetness. I let my husband do the steaming because I am not good with steaming milk. I'm telling you, I am not good at latte art and all that kind of stuff. So I let my husband take care of that. But it's such a beautiful machine. No more coffee maker for me, and I'm not really going back to my Keurig. Every now and then for a quick cup I'll have it, but man, it's hard. It's hard to go back. I hope that you guys enjoy this recipe. Give it a try. Have it for a breakfast treat. Pop it in the freezer for a freezer muffin. You pull it out and microwave for a little bit. Heat it up. Really good. Put some butter on it. A little sprinkle of maple syrup or something to sweeten it up a little bit. They're delicious. They're divine. And they're so easy and a healthier treat. I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.